Okay, so all too often, students will send me an email and say, I did the code right, and it's telling me that I didn't. Or I keep doing it the exact way that you said to do it, and it's only giving me 25% or 50% or nothing. So let's look at what's taken place. I've written some code. I've run it, or I've executed it, and it says it can't find my file or directory. There's my comments file, so I don't know why it can't find it. It says it can't find the end of the file. And if I come over to look at the checks, and I've already run them, it says I got 2 out of 3. Now let's expand these out. If we expand them out, it's looking for write line. It's looking for a call to the write line method. And it's also looking for not just write line, it's looking for write line with any combination of characters followed by a semicolon. So it's looking for write line, the parentheses, the quotation mark, anything in between a quotation mark and the end parentheses. It also wants that semicolon at the end. So with that said, if it doesn't find that, it's not going to give me 100%. So I've got to understand what this means, what these symbols mean, to be able to debug or decode these things. Okay. The last one that I got correct is the line comment. It's looking for 2 forward slashes followed by anything. That's the wildcard symbol. I got that one right. It found it. It found the write line statement. But it says it's got a problem with my block comment. My block comment, essentially it's looking for a forward slash, a wildcard symbol, anything in between them, a forward slash, no, anything in between them, and that's what all this is anything in between them. That's what that means. You put whatever you want in there, multiple lines, as many lines as you want, and then it's looking for that right there, which is a wildcard symbol, and that right there, which is a forward slash. Now, if I didn't shoot straight here to go look and see what was the issue, what problem is it having? And it could be that it's telling me we were looking for 10 characters and we found 9. Oh, okay, let me go copy this and paste it into a Word document, and then it may tell me an example or what it's expecting. Let me copy that, paste it in the Word document. Where does mine differ? My actual output, where does it differ from what they expected? Now they'll show you 2 separate ones. One that says that's green or red, and the other's black. So here's what we're looking for, and here's what we found. Well, those will be the same text. They're not saying what we found, it's here's what we're looking for and we didn't find it. Or here's what we're looking for and we did find it. Up above it'll say output, and here's exactly what we found. So with that said, had I looked over here and look at the very first bit of this. It says comments.cs, so it found my CS file. It has an error, end of file, found :/expected. It was looking for, not colon, but asterisk /. It was expecting that, but it found an end of file symbol. Here's my problem. / asterisk / asterisk. That asterisk needed to be right in front of it. With that, if I run it, it runs without an issue. And let's see if it checks. It checks without an issue. Now, there's two things that are potentially taking place here. One, your code executes without error, and you're not getting your expected evaluation. All that means is the code runs without any syntax errors, but it doesn't produce the expected output. Now, the expected output, the issue could be formatting, it could be calculation, it may be missing. They could have asked you to allow the system to run based on user input, and you put static input in there, and there was no user interaction. If that's the case, then their evaluation cannot interact with the code, and it won't work. So with that said, when you run into issues with your code, there's a couple things that need to take place. Find out why it's not fully running. If it's not fully running, it'll give you some issue over here and say, here's where the problem is and the line we found it on. This one, it told us about where the error was. It may tell you the exact line that it realized there was a problem. Now, the problems usually occur before you realize they happened. Okay? Just like a flat tire in a car, the tire got punctured long before you realized it got punctured. So with that said, try to address any syntax errors that are preventing the code from running, syntax or logic errors. Comment your code. They're not going to take points away because you put comments in explaining what you were doing. They're not requiring you to put comments in, with the exception of this one where they're actually looking for them. But in future modules, put comments in so you understand what it was you were doing. And then when I need to go in and look to debug it, because you're potentially not able to find where the error is, I understand what's taking place. Lastly, once this is the way it is, or let's say you can't even get this to run correctly, you can't figure out what the problem is, and you've gone over here and you can't decipher what it is over here, you have to submit it, whether it's 0 or 100 or 66, whatever. You have to submit it to the system for me to be able to access this and see what you've done and see what issues the system has with your code. So with that said, you can submit it 0%. Come back, copy your code, say, I'm going to try this again. Paste your code in there, and it's just like nothing ever happened. You're on round 2 of this assignment, and it's not costing you anything other than the time to understand what issues took place and how can you find out what's going on. Now, if you need to reset it, say it's, for whatever reason, it's not running right, you can copy the code, come down here, reset the environment, it'll wipe whatever I've got clean, and I'll show you how that's done. Control C, let me reset it. You sure you want to do it? Absolutely. Everything you've done is going to go away. I've got no problem with that. And now here it is. It's rebuilding me a fresh sandbox. And it actually gave me everything back that I had. Many times it'll say right back the way that it was. Okay. Which this really should have done. Try it again. There we go. So it might take more than one time for it to wipe clean. Then I just go in and paste it. Okay. And it'll run and it'll show the same whatever it was before, and it ran fine before. Okay. So reach out to me if you have issues, reach out to the assignment support forum. But for me to be able to see what you've done, you have to go in here and you have to click that submit button.